Welcome to the Julixa Media Podcast. I'm your host, Julixa Newman, and today we have Drew Hannan from the Hannan Grandmont real estate team, which is one of the most successful real estate teams in Rochester, New York. Thank you for joining us, Drew. How are you?
I'm doing great, Julixa. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I think so too.
How are you doing?
What? I'm doing fabulous. I
Good.
am. I'm doing great. The best part about, recording podcasts is that you only need to dress professionally from your waist up. I'm actually wearing ripped jeans and like canvas sneakers. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
I'm not wearing pants.
No, that works out perfectly. Yes. Oh, you're gonna be really popular after this one, Drew. Let's talk a little bit about yourself, your
Yeah.
background. Who is Drew
All right.
Hannan?
First and foremost, a father of 4 beautiful children and a sometimes decent husband, but an entrepreneur. I love creating businesses and I love watching concepts come to fruition. I'm currently a real estate agent in Rochester, New York. I am one of the principals of the Hannan Grandmont team, a very, very successful real estate team in Western New York. And previously, I owned Subway franchises. That was what I did out of college. So I was a restaurateur, but now I'm in the real estate game and enjoying it thoroughly.
That's quite a change, and I want to like really dive into both types of niches. Let's talk about Subway. You said you bought your first franchise when you were a teenager?
Not a teenager. I was 23 when I bought my first one. I was lucky enough that my parents believed in me and they helped me co-sign a loan from the bank. Got a bank to an SBA loan, a small business loan to open my first store, built it out, hired a contractor. And the rest was history, I suppose.
Why Subway? Like what makes this 20-something-year-old kid wake up? Tell me it wasn't because you were hungover and you needed a Subway sandwich. What made you wake up and say, I want to own my own Subway?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Julixa, because it was for looking back the wrong reasons, and that was because I thought it was going to make me rich. Never chase money, and that's one of the most important lessons I learned from Subway. I thought that it was an industry that was going to make me rich, and that was all that mattered to me at the time. In retrospect, very short-sighted. It was not my passion, and that was a problem.
Interesting, but you bought more, correct? Like you didn't just
I bought more because I still hadn't realized that it wasn't my passion. I was tricked and thought that it could be if the money was right. So instead of leaving the business, which I should have done, I doubled down and just expanded and said, well, if I just build this thing out, the money will be there and then the happiness will come. But that's really the wrong direction. I should have found industries that I was more passionate about first, and then the money comes. So I was looking at it from the
challenging parts, though, of running several franchises.
What are the most challenging parts?
Yeah.
The people management. Managing lower wage employees is very, very challenging, very difficult. And it's something that, it taught me great lessons, but I am also, I feel very blessed to be out of that business.
I can see that. I mean, every time I walk into a Subway, it's a teenager,
Yeah.
the one that's serving me, and I can't imagine managing teenagers, especially this day and age. I
Well,
mean, I
you know a lot about teenagers too,
have
and
a lot of kids in my home.
you know what you're dealing with when it comes to teenagers, and they're not easy. And you're absolutely right. It's a huge challenge to keep them on track, to keep them productive, and to keep them honest.
To keep them honest. I could definitely
Yep.
vouch for that one. Honest and motivated.
And motivated.
I don't think they want to work anymore.
Nobody does.
Honestly, I don't. I have issues hiring people for, my own media firm. And it's like, okay, let's start. Let's start on this project. It's due on Friday, and they'll turn it in on like Friday morning, and it's 50% done. And I'm like, but I've been trying to walk you through this whole process for a week and there's no motivation. And you
No.
can't really show someone how to be motivated, which is one of the biggest challenges. Motivation and common sense, I think, are lacking.
Yeah, but I am trying to develop ways to motivate people that maybe can't motivate themselves. So if I completely figure this out, I'm going to give you a call.
Oh no, we're gonna have you back on. You're gonna
Okay.
have to like show everyone, all of our listeners, how you motivate people. So how would you handle difficult situations while you were running Subway? Like so many franchises, so many honestly teenagers that you're managing. How would you handle that? Would you just go home and like hit the treadmill?
I wish I would hit the bottle more than the treadmill. But
Yeah.
the the one of the things that I learned from my management experience at Subway is that with both customers that have an issue or employees that have an issue, time is of the essence. You want to handle it swiftly. If you let things linger, they become worse for the most part. So when someone is upset with something, whether it's your product or your employees are upset with the way that you are leading them, you want to address it quickly, and you want to make sure you take great care and make the other party realize that you care about their feelings and what's making them upset. But you have to handle complaints or trouble situations quickly, because if you let them fester, they just get worse and worse, and then they almost become unfixable. So quick, decisive action, and let people know that you truly care about their well-being and their happiness. Both employees, customers. It's a lesson for all of business.
What other tips do you have for people that are thinking of maybe not Subway, but investing in a franchise? Like, is there something that you wish someone would have sat you down and said besides, you're not going to be a millionaire?
Yes, they should have said, Drew, are you sure you love this business? That's the most important thing. If you're going to get into a franchise, you better love everything about that franchise. You better love everything about that organization because you're married to it. That's your new wife. That's your new husband.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
and just like a new wife and new husband, you're not going to change them. They are who they are. Don't get
Exactly.
into a
The tune
relationship
is
thinking
always
you're
going
going
to
to be
smell the same way.
exactly. Don't get into a relationship thinking you're going to be the big change. So you better love whatever franchise you're getting into. So really make sure it's something that you're passionate about. That's my biggest piece of advice if you're going to get into a franchise.
I love that. Now let's talk about the transition. You went from owning franchises, Subway franchises, to going into real estate. That's quite a change. What made you decide to change paths?
Again, the wrong reasons. So
Money.
I saw real estate as a vehicle to make a lot of money.
Mhm.
Um, but somehow, luckily, I stumbled on the fact that I do have passion in this industry, which is a beautiful thing. And my passion originally started from the ability to help people, which I love. I love helping people, and passionate about putting people in the next stage of their life or the next chapter of their life. But then as my team grew and I started building this team, I realized I'm even more passionate about helping others grow, which I have the ability to do as one of the leaders of my team. And it brings me great joy. I really enjoy that. I mean, I enjoy helping people buy and sell their houses as well. I feel like I'm doing meaningful work there, but I really feel like I'm doing meaningful work when I see team members of mine start to grow in life,
Yeah.
professionally, personally. It really gets me excited.
How long did it take you to go from just being a real estate agent to opening your own team, starting your own team?
So I took kind of like an inverse path, and for people that don't know me that are watching this, they need to realize that I am very introverted naturally. Now I'm an extroverted introvert, and I can perform very well as an introvert, as an extrovert, but I'm really introverted. So the toughest thing about this business for me was figuring out how to navigate it as an introvert. I mean, the extroverts have a distinct advantage being real estate agents, and I had to figure out how I can use my skill set as an advantage. Um, and really, the best thing I ever did was bring on the right partner, which he's an incredible extrovert, and he really fills in the gaps. And it's been just a tremendous team that we've started to build. Very
Now,
excited
you
about
and your partner are complete opposites, I gather.
it. Kind of. We do have some overlapping skill sets, but we
Okay.
also have two very different um, skill sets as well. So we do have some overlapping skills, but what he is really good at, I am not, and what I am really good at, he is not, and it's a beautiful, uh, beautiful relationship that we have.
That's very good. I love that. I mean, you speak so highly of him. I want to meet him. Uh, how do you attract and retain good talent? Like, how do you pick that one real estate agent? Let's say it's a young kid, straight out of college, saying, I want to make money, I want to sell homes. How do you attract these people?
We attract talent through our results. Obviously, we do have great success in this market, and that talent takes notice to success. But we also have fun, and we make sure that we let other people know that we're having fun,
Oh, I see
and
it.
and that is truly what attracts talent. Because when they say, "Hey, not only are those guys killing it, but they seem to like each other too," and that's huge,
Yeah.
huge because we do like each other. Well, I don't know
Yeah.
if they like me, but I do like them,
You
my team
you
members.
you might wanna interview them first and be like, "I said this about you, hope it's okay." Talking about liking each other, you could see it in your marketing. Like, I've gone through your marketing, I've gone through Instagram. You are now, you haven't gone viral on TikTok, but I'm sure it will take you no
It's coming.
time to
Thank
get
you.
viral because your dance moves are, they're
Horrible.
very original. Um, and so you'll go viral in no time. Let's talk about your marketing tactics on and offline. What has become good? What do you think you're more comfortable doing? What has brought in more results when it comes to
So let's
selling
let's
your
start online first. And as
okay.
you know, I'm talking to one of the authorities on this.
Thank you.
Um, there is almost no better bang for your buck in any business than social media. You need to either hire somebody who knows what they're doing, or you need to study and figure it out if you're running a business. Because if your social media presence, if you're not, you know, working towards improving it every day, you're doing the wrong things because there's so much return on that. The return on investment for social media is incredible. So if you don't know how to do it, find somebody who does because your business needs it.
Exactly. Contact
Crucial.
julixa.com. It's not an ad. It's not an ad.
And
Uh,
let me, but you look, so let me just tell you one example. And people don't understand how powerful it is, but we do a lot of targeted ads on Facebook and Instagram. And you say,
okay.
well, Drew, how well does that really work? It works extremely well. Because when you go to look for a home, you tell your parents, you tell your friends, you tell everybody, and guess what they all want to do? They want to look with you. They want to say, I want to help Julixa find her next home.
That's
Oh, I know Julixa would love this. And they start sending you stuff. So it might not be that my ad gets in front of Julixa, but it gets in front of Julixa's mom who sends it to Julixa, or
right.
Julixa's friend who sends it to Julixa. And it works so well. It's really, if you're not really actively trying to crush social media, you need to.
I
Uh,
think that one of the biggest things that I find when I talk to clients is that they're scared of the camera. Oh, but I look like a
yes.
fool, but I need, my hair needs to be perfect. And I always tell them, just do it. No one cares. No one's looking at your hair. They just want to see something funny. If you can laugh at yourself, you're one step ahead of the game. I
And
mean,
Julixa, how will you ever grow and get better if you don't try?
exactly.
You need to
Exactly.
just start doing it. Being good on camera is a skill that can be improved,
Right.
but you can't improve it until you start. So just get out there and start doing it.
Right.
All of you out there.
Right. Right. I got you. Okay. So that's online marketing.
So
Um,
let's talk offline.
let's
Offline,
talk offline. What are you doing to attract more clients?
offline, our biggest ROI is, and it's not attracting clients necessarily. It's using our own past clients to attract clients for us. And that's through our
Okay.
customer appreciation program. We give our past clients something every month. All they have to do is reply. And it's the law of reciprocity, Julix, and I know you know about it.
Right.
Once we give somebody something, they want to give us something back. And what can they give us? Referrals.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
we
No,
give
I
you
saw.
something, we're happy to give you stuff because we want you to be wanting to give us back
Yeah.
stuff. And that stuff that we want is we want to help your friends and family buy or sell. And it just works so well. When you take care of other people, they want to take care of you in return. So we give to get, and it's been
And it's
tremendous.
it's interesting because I was scrolling through social media one day, and I think it was a couple days before Valentine's Day, and I saw that you were handing out roses
Yeah.
to clients, and I'm like, that's freaking genius! Like he's killing it. Who would ever think? I'm like, this is what brings more clients. This is what brings referrals. This is what makes you, you know, stand out from the rest of those stuffy real estate agents, which I mean, I have a joke about real estate agents, and it's always that they're you get a business card and you see the most gorgeous man on that business card, and you're like, okay, this is a real estate agent. That, I just want to meet the guy, right?
Yep.
Obviously not now. I'm happily engaged, but I
Yep.
just want to meet the
Very
guy.
good.
The guy walks in, and that picture's 30 years old, and you're
Yep.
like, no, what the hell happened here? But not with you, not with your team. You're so active on social media that people know what they're going to get when you walk into the door. They know what your team is like. I saw that you also have a couple of young ladies there that are teaching you. At, I can only assume they're teaching you how to do TikTok because you're doing it really well. You see these girls and you see that they're having fun, and you want to be part of that team, and you want to be part of Drew's team. It makes me want to search for you and your
You,
team just to see what's up.
what you're saying is so intuitive, Julixa, because you hit the nail on the head with the fact that my team members teach me so much, and I learn so much. We are so collaborative, and that's the key. If you're not collaborative, then you're not a team. You're just a group, and then who cares? Because you collaboration is what is really moving our business along. I have a couple female agents on this team. One of them's a very younger demographic, and she teaches me so much. I'm a better agent because of her,
I love
and it's
it.
because of our collaboration. And she's a better agent because of me as well. But we share strengths and we leverage weaknesses. So we know each other's strengths and weaknesses. And if I have somebody on my team with a weakness and it's one of my strengths, I cover their weakness. So
Right.
we are very collaborative. We operate as a unit, and that's why we are so strong because it's not just that I'm teaching my team members, they are teaching me as well.
I love that.
Very.
What's in the future? What's in future plans for your real estate office?
So the future of us is we are in a really nice growth pattern right now, which I love. I mean, you know about building
Oh
businesses. You
yeah.
know how exciting this portion is when you're in a really aggressive growth pattern. We're going to grow the sales up, and once we have some good capital in reserve, we're going to pivot and then start doing some more passive investments. But as a team, it's going to be almost like a team retirement plan. But we're putting the finishing touches on this plan. But essentially, we're going to have team investments that are
I
running
love that.
alongside to create passive income for our team members in addition to their income they're getting from sales. Because I want all my team members to be rich. I used to think that I wanted to make me rich, but I just want to make them rich because then I'll get rich too.
Oh, absolutely, you will. Absolutely. Quick question. How do you maintain, and one of my listeners chimed in a couple of weeks ago, and it just so happened that, the first podcast that I had were all females. And I always ask the same question. My question was always, how do you maintain the work-life balance? And these women really went into depth in saying, you know what, there is no balance, or I'm terrible at it, or, I have a great partner, or whatever it may be. And so one of my listeners chimed in and said, Julixa, when are you going to ask a man this question? And so now you're on the spot because we want to know, how do you manage your work-life balance, and how do you allow your team to do the same?
I mean, you're not going to like my answer, but I'm married well.
Yes, I know.
I, my wife, my wife is amazing. My wife is an educator, um, and she is a retired educator. And we strategically, uh, put her in place to educate our children at this stage in her life. Now, she might go back into the work field, but uh, she is very good at um, raising children. She's better than me. Now they need a father. They need a father's influence as well. But right now, what she can offer them is more than what I can. Now, our roles might switch as they get older. Um, I'm around. I'm there to help whenever. But right now, we put the aces in the places, and she is a dynamic parent. And I'm just I married well. I wish I had a better answer.
Hey, you know what? I'm sure she's listening and smiling and going, damn right, you married well. Jesus, Drew. No, I think that one of the biggest things when it comes to finding a partner is actually finding someone who's willing to say, hold on a second, I'll take the back seat. Um, you could push on, you could, move forward with your profession. And I'm just going to sit here and be the support system. Everyone needs some type of support system, because if not, it's all going to fall through, including the kids.
Exactly.
I am a huge failure at remembering holidays and weekends. Like I remember when I used to drive my little ones to school, I'd get ready on a Saturday because I was so into business. I was so worried about, my business and doing this. I would forget the day of the week that it was. So many times, I would get them all ready on a holiday and let's go to school and drive up to the school and be like, crap, no, I'm really failing at this. But now I'm going to flip it around and go to McDonald's. And they'll forget it all. They'll get their little happy meal. They'll forget everything. I'll take them home. And this failure, I'm just going to sweep under the rug. So yeah, I think it's little things like that there's no balance. And the more I talk to other people and other professionals, the more I feel better about myself. I'm like, oh, I was chasing something that never existed, you
Yeah,
know?
and it's also to get back to parenting. You want to make sure that your partner and you are a good team, and
Yeah,
you and Chris are a perfect example. Um, I can't speak to you because I didn't know you before you had a relationship with Chris, but you make Chris better, and I think Chris makes you better, and uh, that's why your relationship works so well. Like you guys are better together than you are apart, and I like to think that my wife and I are as well. I'm not sure we do it as well as you and Chris, but uh,
oh, you do.
you
You
know,
definitely do.
it's just important that you and your partner are on the same page, and you each play to each other's strengths, but are both always present and available if necessary.
Now, going back to marketing, because it just occurred to me, you've got the cutest children I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you.
Um, they should be doing TikToks with you. Like these children should be
You
there.
are dead on. They should be, and they will
We
be.
need these kids out
They
there.
will be in my TikToks.
I plan on visiting you soon. I
I
will
can't
hold the
wait.
camera. I will make these children superstars in marketing, and then they can teach your team as well.
Well, look, I love raising daughters. I'm learning so much, and I would love for you to be one of my daughter's mentors because you know y-
Definitely.
you really are someone that is a great role model, and my wife is too, but I want my daughters to be exposed to great female business leaders, and I consider you one. And
Thank
I'm
you
really
very
glad
much.
that we have a relationship and a friendship.
Let's talk about a book, a movie, or a piece of art that you consider to be meaningful and why.
I'm gonna I'm gonna do one that I just finished. It's The Art of Quiet Influence. It's not that it necessarily is the most important book that I've ever read, but it is important for me right now. And that's because I've been very into self-awareness. I'm trying to lead uh, from a position of influence without authority. Um, and a lot of the lessons in this book are how to influence people from a position where you're not necessarily in a position of power. How do you get people to collaborate when you're not the boss? Even though I am the boss, I like to try to run my business as a servant leader. Really, it's what can I do for you guys, my team, and then I'll get it back in return. But it's really just kind of uh, solidifying that servant leader that I want to be.
Right. Right. I've also found that, and I don't know if you've gone through this as well. I've read business books 10 years ago. And I used to be one of those people that would highlight and put post-its and say, okay, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And luckily, I saved those books. And 10 years passed, and I went back to the same book, and I didn't learn the same lesson. I'm like,
Exactly.
hold on a second. My business developed. I already went through that struggle. Now I'm doing this. Now I changed from, a product business to a service business. And now this book takes on a whole different meaning. And so I've made it a point to go back to my older books and see where I was. And it's
And then
impressive.
you can also see the change. And
Right.
change is beautiful, Julixa. Imagine how much you've grown in the past 10 years.
Absolutely. Well, my waist size has
It's
grown,
in,
I can say that much.
no, 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 no. You still look amazing. You still look
Thank you.
amazing. But I know when you go back and you can see the growth that you've experienced, it just makes you want to grow more. It
Yeah,
makes you want to be even better. And
absolutely.
if you're not growing, you're dying. So keep growing.
That's very
That's
true.
my challenge to myself.
Let me tell you something. Let me ask, do you push your team members? Because I know you've got younger team members. Do you push them to try to find that balance, to not work all the time, to be able to say, hold on a second, get yourself a hobby?
Of course. We are big on we're not just work. You need to have fun and you need to have a lot of it.
Right.
And we are going to encourage you having a lot of fun. In fact, we encourage vacations. We encourage as many as you want. If you need a vacation, go take it. Uh, when my team, when all of my members are happy and feel fulfilled, the quality of our work goes way up. Our productivity goes way up. Uh, So yes, we are very much about balance, and we encourage anything that's going to make your life better
Right.
and make you happier, because you're going to in turn show that happiness and fulfillment in your work. It's going to come across, uh,
I love
and
that.
people are going to notice that you really enjoy what you're doing. And people want a quality result, but even better than that is a quality result from somebody who enjoyed giving it to you.
Exactly. Exactly. That's very true. Drew, this has been a really great conversation.
It's tremendous.
Where does one find you if you're looking for a home in Rochester?
You can just go to hgtrealestate.com. You can certainly just Google me, Andrew Hannan, with the Hannan Grandmont team, or call me, 752-3506, area code 585. But it was a true pleasure sitting down
Thank you.
and talking with you, and I can't wait to see you again in person, Julixa.
Perfect.
I look forward to it.
Thank you. And thank you to all our listeners. Remember to keep tuning in. Julixa Media on Spotify, Apple, and all social media platforms. Drew, I will see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you so much.